John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alcumalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show that we care by the things that we do. And today, I just want to share a little information as well. I thank God and let everybody know, in which I'm sure that you guys already know, that God is a good God. I got a chance to speak with my first cousin down in Texas last year. She lost her husband, and the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And I just want to thank each and every one of you guys that has been praying for her, because after she lost her husband, about 2 weeks later, she had a seizure. She went into a coma. And after that period of time, she just been really didn't know where she was. Was in the hospital pretty much the whole time over. In fact, she's still in the hospital right now. But to God be the glory. Uh, we've been texting and praying for her and different ones and reaching out. And sometimes we would call down and they would put the phone to her ear and let different ones talk to her from here and pretty much all over the United States, because we have a large family, and just stayed in her ears and just showing and expressing the love that we have for her. And on yesterday, because I had wondered, because we've been reaching out and we've been getting pretty good reports. They said she was coming back and she had finally came out of the coma uh, late last year. I think it was around Thanksgiving or so. But nevertheless, on yesterday, her daughter called me and she let her speak to my wife, Diane, and she recognized her and she actually talked to her. And it just brought tears to my eyes because, like I said, we serve a good God, and you never know why He does things, but we just have to accept Him and just keep it moving. Sometimes He take a life, sometimes He leave a life, because He could have took both of them, and she didn't have to recover after that. And they gave me the phone, and she looked at me and she smiled and she said, "Hey, Uncle John." And that just made my day, because I really wasn't expecting. I thought, like normal, she was just going to have the phone and look at me and smile. But when I told my cousin, I really appreciate that she thought enough of us to call us, to not just to say that and give us a good report, but she as well showed how good God has been and where He has brought her from. So we want y'all to continue to pray for her. She's still in rehab right now, but she's doing much better than she was doing. And that's why I often say, tell people, to love on your family. Try to encourage them no matter what they're going through, because we all are going through something. Even, the different businesses, I tell people to support one another, to do what we can to help each other, to lift each other up. There's too many people in life that's practicing tearing down people. Why waste all of that energy talking about people and tearing them down when you don't get nothing out of it, unless you just get pleasure out of hurting people? I try to practice every chance I get. I don't just go around looking, but if opportunity presents itself, I try to let not only my family, but my customers that comes in here as well, that I appreciate them. And I realize that they don't have to take the time out and come from wherever they come from over here to get a piece of candy, to get an African outfit, or a dinner of that sort. So, we have a tendency to think that people owed us something. People don't owe you anything. And sometimes some things take a little bit longer than others, but we just have to wait. I said, wait on the Lord and be of good courage. So why are we waiting? Somebody said, well, what you doing in the meantime? What did it say? Be of good courage. Continue to bless, continue to lift each other up, and act as if you was on top of the world if you can. Because sometimes I told a story as early as yesterday that when I was going through, people didn't even know it because I just seemed to be so happy and jolly and almost not looking for somebody. But whenever opportunity presented itself, I took the time out and tried to be a blessing. And sometimes you don't even know that you're being a blessing. You just do you. And doing you, hopefully it's lifting people up, it's trying to put a smile on somebody's face or whatever you do. But most important, you don't want to do nothing to be trying to hurt people. I have, as I be doing things, I told people, I say, everybody has always thought that I was this or that and thought that I was sitting on top of the world. But no, my story has always been from which I came. God has truly been good to me and my family. And my mother and father used to tell me, say, boy, you kept me on my knees. And I could imagine because my children now keep me on mine and my wife. So I understand. And that's why I'm always trying to encourage someone, trying to tell someone to be nice, treat people nice, lift each other up. If if you got the time, take the time out to do something to help somebody. Lend a hand. Find yourself reaching to help somebody to pull them out of a hole. Not don't have that. Remember, I used to talk about the craft syndrome. Don't be like that. And people would say that they always thought that I had it, but I told a young man the other day. I said, there was a time in my life that when people actually they thought I had it, but I didn't have it, and I didn't try to play like it, but I just my thing was why be in a pity party? I mean, I'm already down and out in a sense, so I just had to try to make the best of this. So I tried to keep a smile on my face. I tried to lift other people up whenever I got a chance. In doing so, I stayed in a pretty good spirit of things. I didn't have a whole lot of time to be meditating and thinking and dreading about my situation. Sometimes my wife would ask me, John, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? And I would tell her, baby, when it's time. Right now, it's not time. We can't afford to do it. So, unfortunately, what happens, a lot of people is living and trying to live above their means. If you can't afford to do it, don't do it. It don't make sense to hurt your own self. Why would you do that? Uh, in some cases, and I thank God for my wife because, we sit down and we talk, communicate, talk to each other. Let your wife, let your husband know exactly where you both stand, where you at financially, physically. And so that way, when I say no or you say no, I understand why you're saying no. We can't afford to go out to dinner because the money is funny. I don't have a whole lot. So when the Lord blesses us with a few dollars, there are what you call situations and things that has to be done, such as a light bill, gas bill, water bill. It's tax season. And a lot of times people can't hardly wait. When I get my taxes, I'm going to get me a car, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. Well, what about you a little bit behind in some of your debt? So you got some credit cards that need to be caught up. You got a light bill that's 2, 3 months behind that you've been paying on. How about catching that up while you got the money? That light bill, the water bill, the mortgage. The landlord been working with you for the last 3, 4, 5 months. Catch it up. Get that load off of you. Get that pressure up off of you. Do the things that you need to do and try to encourage other people to do what they need to do. Because after doing so, it makes you more comfortable. You are more able to do what need to be done. You can, I mean, if all the bills is paid, when the wife say, "Can we go out to dinner?" Yeah, let's go. Where you want to go? McDonald's, White Castle, Golden Corral, as a joke, but we actually enjoy White Castle, McDonald's, Golden Corral. But every now and then, when the Lord bless us, if we have it, sometimes we may go to Outback, uh, Texas Roadhouse, or something of that matter. She enjoys that, but she know if we can afford it, we'll go, and if we can't, we just have to settle for something else because we realize that why put yourself on the strain? Why take your income tax money that you have just got back? And a lot of people, I've heard people, man, I'm gonna splurge, I'm gonna party, I'm going out, they go out and what they say, paint the town in a sense. So when they get out there painting the town and whining and dining and drinking and blow that money, go get a car. I mean, if you need it, you need it. But work out, make sure you got everything is taken care of. Get that car and help. Hopefully, it will be able to, put you where you need to be to help you get backwards and forward to work and what have you. So my thing is, I try to buy, sell, trade, and the things that I do is what I need to do, and I can use things, not misuse things, and not misuse my own self, trying to please myself. I often tell people you have to find it in your heart to be able to do what's good for you, not what's good to you. Unfortunately, we find ourselves doing things that's what's good to us instead of what's good for us. So after you get that income tax check and you get your bills and things paid and everything caught up, that's a load off of your chest. Then you can afford to, do some things that you want to do, you know, enjoy. And it puts you in another position, a little more comfortable position than you was in. Because living in stress and every time you look around every month, you're trying to pay part of something or pay on this and pay on that. It makes you feel so much better when you can pay a bill off and don't have that bill. It used to be a time when I couldn't buy credit, and I tell that story every now and then. And what I meant by that, I couldn't buy credit. When I was trying to establish my credit, the bank told me that if I get them $95, they'll give me a $300 credit card. Well, $300, that's not a whole lot, but you have to start somewhere. So I decided to take a chance, and they let me know it wasn't guaranteed that I was going to get it. So I gave them my little $95, hoping and praying that I got that little $300 credit. But unfortunately, the Lord didn't see fit. Maybe He was still making me and molding me and created me to be who I needed to be. So they turned me down, lost the $95. So now I don't have a $300 credit card nor my $95. But it was a learning lesson. And as time went on, I began to grow and things started to get a little bit better. I began to make better decisions. And the Lord blessed me where my credit started building. And now, we have been blessed to be able to do other things now. Now I can, you know, pretty much get whatever I want on credit. My credit score is much better than it used to be. People is sending me letters trying to almost make me get credit now or credit cards and what have you. But remember, you want to use things, not misuse them. So just because they're offering you all these different things, think about it. If you don't need it, do not get it. Because if you get it and you misuse it and you put yourself in debt, now you've created another situation for yourself. Why do that to yourself? I understand there are people that will hurt you, that will hurt me. But why would I put myself in a position that's going to hurt me? So think about things. I'm always talking about that. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it before you do it. Do this make sense? Is this good to me or good for me? So make sure that what you do is good for you. The decision that you're making is good for you. You're making the right decisions. You're building. So, on that note, hopefully today I said something that will turn them wheels to make you think about the things that you do before you do it and will make life much better for you. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Alkemalon Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. And as we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show it by the things that we do. Have a great day.
John Beverly, the Candyman, the businessman with a conscience, on LICMC.net radio every Saturday at 3 p.m.
Cubalon Village, your community center for your neighborhood. Programs for the whole family. Led by Marvis Cofield, John Beverly, and the wonderful staff. Visit 7701 Harper Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. Call 313-921-1616 or on the web at alcubalonvillage.com.